Bright QT. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture. In this class, we are going to continue with chapter 8 of class 11th Education Nagaland Board. Now, in this lecture, we shall talk about the communitization of education in Nagaland. Now, ever since the implementation of communitization of elementary education, of the elementary schools took place in Nagaland, there has been a lot of development, a lot of progress that can be seen with respect to the number of students who are taking admission into the schools, the number of students who are continuing their education with the schools, as well as the quality of education which is provided to the primary school level. So these things have certainly seen a lot of development over the years. Now, the elementary education, which was communitized in the year 2002 under the Nagaland Communitization of Public Institutions and Service Act 2002, is considered to be the largest and the most important sector for the government community, in which the government came into a partnership with the state, and that too according to the annual administrative report of the state school education department. So the term communitization was basically used by the former Chief Secretary of Nagaland, Shri R.S. Pandey. According to him, there were two programs of communitization and the Sarva Siksha Abhiyan, and according to him, both these programs were always together. They were very much needed and required for the overall development of the country. The Sarva Siksha Abhiyan, which aimed at providing elementary education for all the children between the age group of 6 to 14 years, communitization also ensured that the government and everybody, be it financial or non-monetary, but everybody was investing in the community's social capital, so that one could see a betterment in the quality of schools, so that the schools could be improved at the grassroots level only. So the National Policy Commission and the committees, they have talked about how the community-based school management, how the community schools ownership, how the empowerment of community schools was so important in the school education. So, although they were not implemented in the state till the Act of Communitization of Elementary Education 2002 was passed by the Nagaland Legislative Assembly in 2002. So, this act was basically aimed to provide power, to provide strength to the community, and to delegate the power further to the state government as well as to the local authorities. So the communitization of elementary schools in Nagaland, they have been, conceptualized on the basis or with an objective to instill skills and knowledge in the young people's mind. They want the people to be skilled, they want people to be knowledgeable. So, through the communitization of school education, the schools have now become the center of the community life. Why? Because of the educational experiences. Community members undoubtedly play a very important role in the development of the entire community, and they contribute significantly to the school education and the role that it plays in the empowerment of the students. So, it was because of this that community education was laid so much importance in Nagaland. So, to ensure the success of this program, the Village Education Committee was constituted, and the power that, the financial transactions related to the salary that was to be given to the teachers was given to the hands of the VEC. Then, whether one was to work, no work, no pay, was again implemented by VEC in order to ensure that the regular salaries were given to the teachers. The daily wages were to be deducted if the teachers were not present in the school. That also was decided by the VEC. So the monthly salary of the teachers was to be disbursed, was to be given away by the VEC with the head teacher who was the secretary. This was the entire hierarchy. Now, because of this act, the community was able to manage the things properly. They were able to supervise and control the schools and ensure that the academic as well as the financial discipline of the school was very well managed. Next comes the participation and the contributions of the community. So, what were the participation and the contribution of the community? Now, regular meetings were conducted among the community leaders of VEC, VDBs, VCs, and the NGOs who all were responsible for the elementary education. There were proper campaigns that were launched to enroll the students in the villages, in the local institutions. Then a lot of contribution was extracted, was delivered by the land, the materials, the school building obviously played a very important role. The schools were to be repaired from time to time, the playgrounds were to be taken care of. The financial contributions, whenever the school needed any funds, whenever the school needed any sponsorship, that was again provided by the VECs. Teaching the children, through the folk songs, folk dances, the cultural programs, and everything was encouraged. And every Wednesday, one of such shows was put up. Then there was a study tour which was organized. There were study hours which were organized. The students were checked whether they had the appropriate chairs, tables, desks, light, and free tutorial classes were also given in the villages. Then the resources were mobilized. They were easily moved from one place to the other wherever the students lacked that. Free furniture was supplied to the schools by the rich people in the villages as well as the organizations. Then the schools were assisted by the teachers and the college students also. The school buildings were provided with electricity. There were ring wells, the wells which were constructed. There were proper furnitures and sports goods which were supplied to them. The uniforms, their books, calendars, all these things were supplied to them. The church program that was initiated in the school was started in such a manner that it did not collide with the school program. So, both the things did take place simultaneously without one affecting the other. Then there were some schemes such as the LADFS, which is also known as the MLA funds, the funds which were given by the local members of the Legislative Assembly. That was also initiated. So all these acts led to the decentralization of education. They brought about changes in the field of education for Nagaland. It started to bloom, it started to function, and it started to move well.